Минутка осталась, блядь, сейчас. А еще, сука, пока телепорт, нахуй, пока ёбка мать, блядь. Ща. Минуту осталось ждать. Unfrozen, ну-ка. А почему вообще не, почему не Olden Era, блядь? Они... А, кстати, блядь, ебать. Hero, блядь. Ну-ка, Olden Era. Во, блядь. Давайте вот так. Оп. И поточек типа по Olden Era дохуя. Я же надеюсь, дохуя, да? А у них, блядь, джаз-чатинг, блядь, почему-то. Какой нахуй джаз-чатинг, блядь? Совсем дурачки, что ли? И... Christmas Stream with Unfrozen. О, что-то есть.
Hello everyone and welcome
О,
to our first
Дениска.
official live stream with
Ой,
Unfrozen. We're
блядь,
very
нихуя у вас
excited
тут.
to have you all here. I am your community manager Kiraha and I'm joined today by none other but our wonderful CEO Dennis. Dennis, would you like to say some words as well?
Hello guys, nice to hear you. It's so great to see so many people here.
Угу. И тебя мы рады видеть. Иногда не всегда, но рады.
Alright, so today... Welcome to our first official...
Так, а нахуя ты смотришь себя, блядь?
Okay, I
На
fixed it.
стриме.
So today we will have our first Q&A, first of all, straight with the developers and many surprises with you guys. So I hope you're in for a treat. As you see, we have another big announcement. There's a timer ticking down, so you're in for something else. And
Ну, окей, понятно,
Dennis,
в
what do you
принципе.
think about answering some Q&A questions?
Yeah, first of all, hello everyone. Again, it's so great to see all of you guys. Thanks for coming. And in the beginning, I guess I definitely want to thank you and every one of you for just super great help and support for our project. We all know that Heroes of Might and Magic is pretty famous series of the games, but we didn't expect that we will receive so many positive reviews and expectations for our project, and we will definitely do our best to satisfy all of you guys. As you know, we announced our game in the early last August, and
Last
right
August,
now
да-да-да.
we're in around close to top 80, I guess, in the most expected games on Steam in terms of wish list. But if you still didn't add the game to the wish list, you can do it right now or ask your friends. You will help us a lot. So I guess
Не-не-не-не-не-не-не-не-не.
few words what will happen today. First of all, as my great friend Alex said that we will have some kind of pre-party, some kind of Q&A session. We will get some questions which were asked in the Discord before, and I guess Alex, we will pick something from the chat, right?
Yes.
I will try to do my best to answer them. And again, you see some kind of second countdown on the screen, and I'm gonna say there is something very interesting, something very, very ambitious, something very expected today, which we are thrilled to reveal to you in just less than 30 minutes. So please do not leave us for this session. Wait a bit. Ask your question, put your question in the chat. And
да, чат, put your question in the chat, и мы попробуем спросить Unfrozen прям на этом, прям на стримце.
Like you were waiting to share this great, interesting information. All right, so Alex.
Yeah. So based on what Dennis just said, guys, trust me, it's a huge reveal. I could barely hold myself from not spoiling everything. Okay, so. It's soon, it's very soon now. But we had a lot of questions lately. Obviously, the feedback from you guys has been absolutely insane, and we're trying our best to go through it all, to make changes. As you saw, even yesterday with we fixed the blood issue, right? We've done a lot of changes already based on community feedback. So no worries. The more there is, the better it is for us. We're really appreciating it, and keep it up. You guys are an amazing community so far. And today we would like to start with answering, I guess, some of the most asked questions that we had lately that maybe we didn't say much before, or we can share a little bit more about. So I think the most important one is, what about factions, right? You guys have been absolutely relentless asking what the factions will be and what's going to happen. So Dennis, can you say a few words about the factions in the game?
Well, it's quite interesting for everyone, for sure, because factions is quite important part of the Heroes of Might and Magic DNA.
Не, все еще не поменяли сообщение на Olden Era. А у меня Olden Era стоит, сука.
Factions and what will be next. Unfortunately, I'm gonna say right now what's gonna be next, but you saw our work with our principle in terms of development.
Да, мы видели ваши принципы. Они, если честно, херовенькие местами.
Hiding everything in secret for at least 4 years before the announcement, I'm gonna say, was pretty difficult and pretty stressful. So, but right now I'm definitely happy that we are sharing some info with you. And in terms of screenshots, in terms of the video, and as you saw, we're not just receiving your feedback, we are already answering for your feedback.
Да, я видел, как вы отвечали на фидбэк, конечно. Один раз, блядь, и то еле-еле заставили пинками сделать какие-то изменения, и на этом все.
And that's why it's quite important to react possibly fast, possibly immediately for the people, if people do not like something and so on. So we revealed 2 factions at the moment. You know, there will be 6 factions in the game. You know the name, the names of 5 of them. It's on the screen, it's on the Steam page. And we revealed most of the material for the necromancy faction and for dungeon faction. So our current plans right now is to continue to reveal the factions in the early next year. We will do it one by one because we do not spoil everything, and you know there is some time before the game will go to early access. Again, hopefully we still have the second quarter of 2025 as a release date for early access. So yeah, and in the nearest time we will introduce you the next faction, and then next, and then next, and so on. So that's the plan for now. Talking about other factions, I unfortunately we are mostly focusing on finishing the game. So guys, please let us finish the game, at least for the early access state, and we will continue to improve and polish it in the process of early access. But we definitely received the feedback about what people expect from the future factions as well. We definitely hope to grow the number after, let's say, later, and announce our plans later. But you guys are definitely free to share your ideas in Discord, on Steam forums.
Да мы уже заебались, блядь, с вами шериться всем подряд. Вы же нихуя не слушаете, нихуя не делаете, блядь, на самом деле. А если будете делать, то вам долго надо будет делать какие-то штуки такие.
Right now, we are concentrating our efforts on polishing, because right now the game is in pretty good state, let's say that. So yeah, more reveals soon, and hopefully we will pick some ideas from you as well for the future factions.
All right, there is actually a question from chat as well, which is, will there be tier 8 units or creatures for most factions? And with this, I guess we can also ask, what about the dragons? Will there be more neutral dragons, or what?
Вот, даже вот так лучше будет, чтобы их чат было видно.
Love dragons, I guess. Again, dragons, it's just a huge part of Heroes of Might and Magic. Of Heroes of Might and Magic, let's say that. Because everyone loves them, and we definitely want to bring more different types of dragons to the game. You already saw our Bone Lich Dragon. So, and we received a lot of positive feedback about it. So yes,
да, позитивный фидбэк, ну, блядь.
For the future. And talking about tier 8 and so on, let us keep some secrets for this. We will, let's say, we cannot promise it at the moment, but we will reveal something, hopefully in nearest time.
So more reveals coming up soon, and there might be more tier 8, guys. That's what we're getting right now. All right, sounds awesome, sounds amazing. Another question from the chat about factions was that, will there be faction unique buildings in terms of the mechanics that they have?
Well, as we said I guess in different interviews, it's quite important for us to make factions to feel different, not in just terms of visuals, but in terms of gameplay. I think some Heroes of Might and Magic titles captured that philosophy pretty well, but I guess there is a lot of, from the beginning we realized that there's a lot of things to improve here. So yes, you will have different types of structures in the building to let the people feel how different the factions are in terms of gameplay as well, to build their own different strategies based on the factions, based on the preferences, based on their positive and negative sides. And so
вот такой вот у меня вопрос. Нахуя выгнали Гаргон из этого, как его, из ростера и сделали только маунтом для данжена? Совсем охуели, что ли?
Of our current progress, we definitely hope that you guys will like it, because this is one of the things which make the faction different, which distinguish them one from other, which separate them one from another. So you will be able to feel, not just, you know, to define the faction visually, but in terms of gameplay as well.
Awesome, sounds great. Speaking about distinguishing and how everything would look like, what could you tell us about the art style, Dennis? Because this is by far the most requested question we had for months now. We know it, guys. So we will give you an introduction right now, and you can expect more in the very upcoming future, near future, I guess.
Yeah, it's quite quite common question for sure.
Мгм.
First of all, it's from the beginning it was pretty obvious for us that the game should have their own face. And as you remember, every Heroes of Might and Magic game had their own face, their own original art style. And every time there was a lot of debate about the art style for every new generation of Heroes game. So we know that this question worry a lot of people. So we decided to post some kind of separate dev blog. Hopefully we will post separate dev blog with deep explanation what exactly what was the main reason to pick such art style. So right now I'll just, long story short, there are a lot of arguments for picking this exact one. First of all,
Да, блядь, вы заебали. Денис, ты каждый раз, блядь, говоришь о том, что их лот, но, блядь, ты их перечислить нихуя не можешь, блядь.
Global map with good readability. It's quite important for casual players to
Полная хуйня.
precisely distinguish the buildings on the global map one from each other, especially if we are returning to the old school type of global map like Heroes 2 and Heroes 3. Our game is, I guess, it's the first one since Heroes 3 when we have this kind of global map, like more close to tabletop one. So
Полная хуйня.
Also system requirements, we definitely want to keep them democratic.
Полная хуйня.
We are working hardly on a random map generator, so it's quite important for us
Ну пиздёж, блядь.
to keep system requirements in at least in the middle segment for Steam, for the machines on the Steam.
Ну пиздёж же ведь.
To make this democratic and to keep FPS high, which is also quite important, not just for casual audience, but for pro gamers as well, especially for pro gamers, because we are aiming for the large audience, but we definitely want to satisfy the ones who want to play competitively as well. So also we were deeply inspired not just Heroes by Heroes 3, but we also like Heroes 2 and Heroes 5. And in terms of visuals as well, I think global map for Heroes 2 was just incredibly great and the readability was incredibly high. And we're also deeply inspired by another game called King's Bounty, you know that from Katauri, which had perfectly great visual art style. Of course, it was some kind of cartoonish, vibrant, and so on. And also, yeah, like we announced before, we are mostly making the game for our own budget. So budgeting is also quite important argument for us. It was quite important argument for us. So yeah, that's most of the point. Again, we will tell a lot more in the devlog. So please stay tuned. Hopefully soon we will reveal more information about it.
All right, great information there, a lot of helpful stuff already, and as you guys heard, there's going to be very likely a devlog made specifically about the art style and much more information that we will share in very soon now probably, so keep an eye on our announcements, of course, and you'll learn a lot more about this. But speaking about, I guess, the past development, we also have a question from chat, which is, how much freedom for the game development did Ubisoft give us, and did they put some borders in some aspects or want you to put in the game, like would want us to put into the game? What do you think, Dennis?
Well, we are, as you know, we're all fans of Heroes.
Вот так вот я, короче, сказал, ну то, что, типа, по поводу adventure мапы и тому подобное, типа, это нихуя не оправдание, то, что вы просто не хотите заниматься оптимизацией своей игры, блядь. Вот и все. На самом деле это единственная и главная причина, почему у них такой ебаный арт-стайл, как мне кажется. Все остальное полный пиздеж, блядь.
Favorite parts of the game, incarnations of the game. we're definitely thankful for Ubisoft for great help and support, and for the huge, huge freedom, huge creative freedom which they gave to us. I definitely
Так,
cannot reveal the
я надеюсь, у вас
exact
картинка не пропадает.
terms of the contract. I have no right to do that, but I'm gonna say that we are proud that we have not just a lot of help from them, but also a lot of creative feedback. So you can blame us if you if you see something bad. Most likely it's our own decision.
Ну да,
And we at the same time will try to do our best to fix the problems if you will see that. That's the thing. And also, as I said, there is one serious thing which also we are was free to share, that Ubisoft is our publisher, but we are making our game mostly based on our own project, and this is one of the parts which gives us, let's say, a bit more creative freedom as well.
All right, amazing. So a lot of creative freedom for us, and I guess
Главное,
one of the
чтобы не
last
4S.
questions we had as a prerequisite for the stream, and one of the most asked question that we should probably answer by now is, you guys guessed it a little bit in Discord and the other social media, but when is beta? What is happening with the beta? And here
Кстати,
we
да, по
can
поводу
tell you
бета, ну-ка.
that the game is already running some internal testing. There is already somewhat of a beta ongoing. We cannot give you a lot of information about the next phase of the beta yet, but it should come at some point during early next year. And what else could we say about this, Dennis?
Yeah. So right now I'm gonna say that right now we have pretty limited, let's say, friends and family alpha in terms of the development.
Friends and family, okay.
We are pretty carefully picking the people to be involved in the process under strict NDA. The game is in pretty good state right now, but you know, it's quite important to present. We definitely want to present the project for you guys in a good state, possibly without serious issues like, you know, game crashing back, blockers, low FPS, and so on. So yes, we spent already more than 4 years in the process of the development, but we definitely want to polish the project and to have the game in a good state, possibly even for early access, because these days it's quite important to present the project for the modern audience in good technical state. So right now we are running some kind of pretty closed internal beta. And I'm gonna say that the impressions from the beta is greatly positive at the moment. People really like our approach and really like new features like faction laws, buildings on the different kind of buildings on the global map, different abilities of the units, heroes' abilities, perk system, and different buildings in the castles, and so on. So answering your questions, early next year, probably early next year, we will make some kind of let's say different stages of the beta. I guess there will be some closed one and probably something open one. We will see. No promises yet. We have our own timeline for this, and we will reveal parts of this timeline a bit later. So the most active members of the community definitely will be able to be involved in the process. But again, it's quite important for us to present the game for most of the audience in a good state. So hopefully we will be able to reveal more, and when there will be possibility, we will be able to also reveal the full gameplay as well. But please stay tuned. There is a lot of interesting new announcement ahead.
Okay, again, a lot of important information for you guys that I hope you were waiting for. And as Dennis said, the more active you are, the more chances you'll have into getting into an early beta there. So we're very thankful for you, of course. This is a way for us to reward some of our most active community people that just join into the discussions and give us a lot of feedback. And I can also tell you that we've received an insane amount of feedback already about the beta. The game is already undergoing some very nice changes, and we're fixing a lot of the bugs and critical errors and everything. So it's going very much as intended and on track. There's nothing for you guys to worry about.
I get the common question in the chat, which people constantly asked about Ubisoft Connect. Again, like times for the...
Да, блядь, про Ubisoft Connect вы уже 300 раз, блядь, рассказывали. Вы заебали, блядь.
Yep. The early access will not require any Ubisoft Connect, so you guys don't need to worry about it right now. All right, another question from the chat that we had a little bit earlier is, what about the hexagonal hexes on the battlefield, like Heroes 3, or will it be adaptive, more like Heroes 5 or Heroes 7? What do we do about this?
We, from the again, as we said, we definitely respect Heroes 5 and later games.
Да, респект, ну, попиздите нахуй.
Pretty great. Most of the people in the team, however, are fans of Heroes 2 and Heroes 3. So it's from the beginning, it was pretty obvious for us again that we definitely want to come back to hexes. But at the same time, our game is the first one in the series which have hexes and three-dimensional battlefield.
Так, сейчас, чтобы, блядь, не ебать все мозги.
Obviously, Heroes 1, 2, and 3 was 2D. So there are different kind of technical complications there. We will share again. Hopefully, we will share some information with you about it, guys. We have pretty good example of this kind of battlefield. This is again King's Bounty from category Legends and Princes, which had just incredibly great battle system, tactical battle system, incredibly deep, interesting, satisfying. So we tried to pick up everything best, not just from Heroes, but from this game as well. So I think if you can imagine some kind of our battle system, you can check King's Bounty for sure. Because this game, I personally had, I don't know, thousands of hours played in Princess, King's Bounty Princess and different incarnations. So yeah.
Блять, ладно, в пизду. Не
Не
буду отвечать. Я забыл, как контракт пишется, блять.
You will see some new stuff about Battlefield today, which is not the main announcement, of course. But I'm gonna spoil a bit that probably, well, most precise people we will be able to spot something new today.
Very soon now, only 4 more minutes. All right, well, let's go for, I guess, maybe even the last question, because we won't have a lot of time other than this. What about saving in battle? What about saving in the final battle, or like whenever the game would, critically crash or something, so we don't lose the progress? And will this feature be present in the arena mode as well, Dennis?
There will be probably no saving in arena mode, but we already implemented pretty good save system, and the people who play in the friends and family right now are pretty good enjoying it. So there is protection from reconnects, which is already working, and we will improve this stuff for sure. And of course, there will be new features.
Дайте стримерам и контент-мейкерам доступ к бете.
And hopefully spectator mode, but we will release more information and probably show some visual information about it later. Please stay tuned again.
Okay, amazing. I guess we have another question and enough time for it. So what are your plans regarding support of the mods, and will you try to make it easier for the modders? Is it gonna be like some quality of life changes? What are the, I guess, roadmap plans for this, Dennis?
We really like modding community, and again, obviously modding community is the community which brings a lot of efforts in the current state of the Heroes of Might and Magic. Stay still popular. So we are working with modder community pretty closely. From the beginning, we started to make different, as we saw before, we started to make different interviews with representatives of the community, including modders, around more than a year ago already, and I guess we already published some of them. There are modders, pretty active modders already involved in the process of testing. And I'm gonna say that the game, we have huge plans for support of the mods for the project, for sure. Right now we have a pretty nice looking map editor. There is a lot of stuff to do with that, and there is a lot of plans for this kind of map editor. And so right now the game architecture is prepared for mods, but we definitely want to finish most of the features before we will implement full support for the modders. So we need to polish the game first. So hopefully close to 1.0 after early access, or maybe right after 1.4. Hopefully we will have some kind of full mod support for the game to let the people express their creativity, reveal their creativity, and publish a lot of interesting mods, create a lot of interesting mods for us. And of course we will pick most interesting stuff from the ideas. All right, I guess we're close to the reveal.
Yeah, we're very close to the reveal, Dennis. Are you guys ready for the big announcement? Because we certainly have waited for this for so long now. So trust us when we're going to tell you this is going to be one of the biggest announcements we've done so far, probably bigger than the entire Advent even. So we're really hoping you're enjoying this and that you get what you wanted all along, right? Just a few more seconds and we're gonna go for it.
So many people joined. It's so great. So great.
Yeah, we have almost 1,000 viewers, I think, overall. Thank you, guys.
Неужели, блядь, музыку покажут или еще что-то такое? Так, ну данжен мы увидели. И слышали эту музыку в мини-анонс. Так. Мы... Так, ага. This Legacy Continues. Да ладно! Охуеть! Все-таки будет, да!
Unfrozen has me to compose music for their upcoming game.
Сука, да!
I'm very happy to do my best to write some music for this wonderful project.
Полушка, да! Сука, да! Это охуенно! Это победа, блядь! Это победа, блядь! Это победа! Ёб твою мать, Полушка!
Hey everyone, this is Chris Velasco. I have hired to...
О, нихуя, какие люди! Для StarCraft 2 музыку писал, для God of War, нихуя, блядь!
One of my favorite franchises. I can't even remember how many hours I played Heroes 3. It's been literally a dream of mine to work on this IP for many, many years. So I'm just super happy that these guys are letting me come on board.
Охуеть, блядь!
I can
Вот
promise you
сука!
I'm going to do my best work on this, and I think we're all going to be happy.
Hi everyone, I'm Mateusz, conductor and creator.
Охуеть, да ладно! И этого еще, блядь, пригнали сюда. Охуеть можно! Охуеть! Ебануться нахуй! Они всех, блядь, собрали! Сука! Охуеть, блядь! Охуеть, блядь! Охуеть! Блять, охуенно! Блять, охуеть! Просто пиздануться нахуй. Вот это, конечно, кайф, блять. Вот это кайф нахуй. Хотя была инфа, что реально пола не будет, короче. О, пол на стриме! Это он! Это он!
Very nice seeing you, very nice meeting you again, and yeah, I hope you guys have had an amazing time watching the video. We're really happy to announce that we have 2 new composers as well as the Heroes Orchestra joining us in building this project, and yeah. Very nice having you here, Mr. Romero. Could you introduce
yourself? Блять, охуеть!
Good morning. I am Paul Anthony Romero out in Los Angeles. It's very early here. So we got up a half hour ago and drank a lot of coffee.
Ну, вот теперь можно заносить.
Здорово, Крабуля.
Здорово, здорово! У нас хорошие новости, Пол с нами! Пол Энтони Ромеро, блядь, теперь с нами, наконец-то! Блядь, я думал, его не вернут, нахуй! Они, сука, взяли и вернули! Привет, Лимонако! Блядь, я просто в ахуе, блядь! Охуеть, блядь! Охуеть, блядь!
In creating this awesome music, and thank you for joining our project. It's an honor for us to have you on board.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be part of this. It's really part of a journey of somebody's artistic journeys, many people over years, and how collective memories of games like Heroes that are a big part of our lives.
Охуеть, блядь, Пола вернули, ёб твою мать.
So I love being part of it. Thank you for asking me.
No problem.
Пола вернули. Польский Heroes Orchestra будет записывать музыку для Olden Era. И еще чувака пригласили, который делал музыку для God of War и этих, как его, и для StarCraft 2. Просто ебануться нахуй. Охуеть, блядь.
Just quickly, I started off as a musician when I was about 3 years old. And I would just sit at the piano and compose. I learned to listen to other kinds of music like Chopin and Beethoven, and Haydn and Scarlatti, and I would hear it on the recordings or radios. Then I could figure it out how to play on the keyboard. But I would want to make the music longer, so I would just sit and
Охуеть, блядь. Я просто в ахуе, блядь. Пол наконец-то здесь с нами, блядь. Охуеть можно.
Strauss or Scarlatti or Bach or Haydn or whoever, Britney Spears. I just learned how the language goes, and I try to incorporate it into my own personal language.
Охуеть, блядь.
Work for a particular project. So
Пол с нами, блядь, ебануться нахуй. Охуеть, блядь.
From Bach to Beethoven to Franz Liszt, to learning a little bit of their language musical skills and making it my own have kind of been one of the same. So composing and playing the piano have been inextricably connected. But the funny thing is that how when people say, oh, the olden era, it is an olden era, but it's not that old for me in terms of my musical musical experience and training. So, for instance, my Franz Liszt, when he was a little boy, was taught by Beethoven. They had a beautiful musical encounter, and he learned some things from Beethoven. When Franz Liszt became a great composer and a very old
Блять,
man, he decided
охуеть.
to
Охуеть, они вернули Пола, блять.
his home in Germany when he was like in
Я до сих пор сейчас в ахуе, блять. Ёб твою мать.
So one of his great pupils that he taught was a Russian pianist and composer.
Короче, Пол рассказывает про то, как он познакомился с этими, как его, блядь, с композитором, ну, короче, из России, когда он приезжал эти делать, как его, концерты. И про польских этих чуваков из Heroes Orchestra.
My piano teacher was one of his last pupils. My piano teacher was Earl Voorhees, who taught me when I was a little boy. So the reality is between my learning classical music and Beethoven, there's only three people. There's Beethoven, Franz Liszt, Zloty.
И еще он рассказал, что, короче, от Бетховена, ну, кто его учил, они, короче, в 3 чуваках от Бетховена. То есть его учил чувак, который учился у чувака, который учился у чувака, который учился у Бетховена. Вот.
For the Heroes franchise, so it's
excellent. Yeah, but actually speaking about olden
вот такой вот прикол.
What would be the most important works that you've done for the other Heroes games, not just the olden era?
Well, they're all very important in different ways. The first Heroes, Heroes 1, it was just out of the blue. I didn't even think anybody would ever want to hear my music. I was in my late 20s. I was working in construction, and I was a cook. I was a chef. I did all kinds of various jobs. Somebody asked me, "Oh, do you know how to write music that sounds like a song of the olden times?" Like that was specifically the word, the olden times. And I go, "Well, how old?" It's like, "Well, something that would work for Castles and Dragons."
Ебануться можно.
Music from the style of the 17th century, like Bach and Baroque music, sort of the height of Baroque music, the harpsichord. The second, so that was really nice. I thought that was a one-time opportunity, but then we got a chance to do the second Heroes, and we thought...
Ну, этот Пол рассказывает о том, как он, в принципе, во франшизу попал, и все в таком духе. В принципе, это он много где рассказывал, так что он тут повторяется. Переводить не буду, поищите сами.
My producer, Rob King, and I, we said, well, why don't we just do it anyway? And you could put on a switch that if it irritates the player too much, they can just turn it off.
Охуеть, блядь.
So the second game was kind of a lot of friends.
Охуеть, блядь.
Plays the saxophone on it. I have a lot of my friends who were opera singers. I just gathered all my friends, and whoever could do whatever. So it was kind of a hodgepodge in terms of just my personal friends. Heroes 3, company said, no more extra people. We just want symphonic music. So no more opera, no more saxophone. So number 3 truly became a really symphonic experience where they said, as large of a symphonic score as you want, it doesn't matter what style. So the style changed from Baroque era, closer to the late 19th century, early 20th century. So it got bumped up by 200 years. So the score is much more in the style of the 1890s, 1900s, 1920s, sort of the neo-romantic period of classical music. Heroes 4, that became a whole other thing. Now they wanted to go back to opera and choir. So it's like, okay, I'm going to use choir that sounds like Carmina Burana and sounds something more like Prokofiev and Karl Orff, but we're going to add a Celtic flavor. So now we're going to a tangent of an ethnicity that was kind of unusual. We're going to go to the Highlands of Ireland and Scotland and add this flavor of bagpipes along with and country mountain singers for Heroes 4. So that was very interesting to take the sounds of Prokofiev and Carmina Burana and also add Highlands Celtic flavor. So
Охуеть, блядь. Кто ж, сука, знал, блядь. Вот это, блядь, просто разъеб, блядь. Я до сих пор сейчас все еще прийти не могу. У меня прямо аж изнутри все охуеть, блядь. Они вернули Пола, блядь.
To go to the mountains of Armenia, which is very interesting because Armenia has a very rough terrain and they have music that's very ancient, so that probably sounds very similar back to Roman times. So to use an Armenian influence actually really brought us into a flavor that, even though it was symphonic music, it has an ethnicity that can, the chords and the textures can really go back 1,000 or more years. So that was nice. So I can't really say.
Я до сих пор сейчас в ахуе сижу.
Thank you for this great explanation.
They're very different.
Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, which people in chat just freely to ask you, because they heard one of the first tracks you created already for Olden Era. It was a grass stem, and it was wonderful. I'm gonna say it's wonderful for me. What exactly inspired you when we created this track, this exact track, and what is inspiring you for creating the whole music, the music for Olden Era as well?
This process is really wonderful because this is the first time I ever get to work directly with the developers and get feedback on people who are really working on the game, and so
охуеть, блядь. Вернули Пола Ромеро, блядь. Охуеть, сука. Я, блядь, в ахуе.
Your team would say yes or no. We really work together. We like a little bit of the flavor here, the speed of this. So the inspiration is yes, it has exotic flavors mixed
Просто в ахуе, блядь.
Kind of a Baroque accompaniment.
Он еще и на стриме наигрывает нам. Грастим, блядь, охуеть можно. Да вы чё, блядь, делаете, сука, нахуй?
A mixture of Celtic and Armenian, but it was really the feedback of the team that helped guide me how exotic or how big or intimate the music can be. So it's the inspiration was actually the team, the Olden Era team. So that this is going to be a very nice project for me because I'm getting the direct inspiration.
О, пёсель у Пола пёсель, вон там внизу показался.
So I get to bring my musical language, and I can say I could do this, the A, B, C, or D, and then I get the feedback with the recipe. So it's very beautiful. It's very collaborative. So this has been a nice. I feel like this music is created by both myself and the Olden Era team. So
speaking about the kind of, I guess, feedback that you're receiving and what you're inspired by, what kind of emotions do you often aim for when composing a music piece? Likewise, the one in Olden Era.
Охуеть, блядь.
I would say it's different than, let's say, composing music for specifically a concert, because that would be a one-time experience. With a game, there's a lot of repetition involved, and so it's how does something have enough complexity that every time you listen to it, it hits the brain a little bit differently each time. Meaning that there's enough within the music to explore upon multiple listenings. So it's very important not to be so overly dramatic and one-dimensional, because when you hear it again, it loses the impact. So how can something be very impactful and yet nutritious musically every time you listen to it, and it really feeds the brain?
Полушка тут с нами, охуеть. Я просто, не буду переводить, не буду их затыкать, потому что я, когда сам говорю, нихуя их не слышу.
It's better to have something that's a little more nutritious, maybe not quite as spectacular as a birthday cake, but something that you can really enjoy for a long period of time, and you're mentally and artistically can.
Ну да, тут он прав, конечно, то, что музыка должна как бы в игре быть такой, чтобы ты к ней мог возвращаться нормально и постоянно ее переслушивать без всяких каких-либо проблем, чтобы она как бы не ебала тебе мозги.
I always try to make it so that you can
Есть такой
actually sing
момент.
along, and maybe it feels like you can actually add words to the melody, so the brain feels like there's a verbal companion somewhere in there. So I think that's been my criteria lately, is if I can hum the melody, then I know there's a human connection even to my body for melodic content. And I feel like that's one of the best ways to connect to brains, is a musical melody that sounds like you can sing along to it. Even all the Beethoven symphonies, as fast as they are,
Охуеть, блядь.
you actually literally
Тоже,
can
сука,
hum
знал.
along and sing them as you listen to them. They're always very
Вот мне уже пишут знакомые, что хотя бы, блядь, по музлу будет все заебись.
rule for me to follow myself.
I see. Yeah, that is a lot of amazing information there, and really nice to see your view on how you create the music. It's absolutely astonishing. What would you be most excited about Olden Era and about working with the team behind Olden Era?
Well, number one,
Охуеть,
because
блядь.
the team
Просто
behind Olden
ебануться,
Era
блядь.
are fans of the Heroes of Might and Magic universe. I never imagined, like 30 years ago, when I was asked to do the first soundtrack of Heroes, that it's unimaginable. Like I would be here today. It's like, wow, this has been a very continuous entity
Так, сейчас
in my
момент.
life for
Ага.
30 years.
Здесь
And
все
I'm very
видно у
proud to
вас.
be
И проблем
part
нет.
of the Heroes games and the new era. Especially with a team who grew up and they know the beauty of the game itself from childhood, and the fact that they're putting their talents and efforts and genius to create a new path for the Heroes universe. So I'm really happy to be I'm part of the Olden Era.
Yeah, and we're definitely proud about it. And people in the chat are just so excited about seeing you, about your involvement itself, and so on. So from my side, I again want to say thank you for involvement.
Thank you.
Great
job.
Yeah.
For me to be part of the Olden Era is actually part of my new era.
Yeah, and we're trying our best to
Блин, охренеть,
experience,
сука.
and we're trying to also working pretty closely with you because it's quite important for us so that the music will be connected to the game, and we definitely want to present the people the perfect project. We wanted to ask you one of the last questions about your upcoming album. Maybe you can say some words about it, please.
Yes. I recorded a solo piano album last year, excuse me, in Warsaw. This is a project by Game Music Poland, and we had been talking about doing a solo piano of the music of Heroes in Might and Magic #3. And how do we make this as a solo piano album, just so it's nice as solo piano? We were going to record this in London at Abbey Road. Abbey Road is a great history of recordings with the Beatles and everything, but they would not bring in a Fazioli piano. Fazioli piano is a brand new, it's not new, it's a current company that makes the world's best pianos. So I was able to get to know Mr. Paolo Fazioli, and he is the future of pianos. All the great piano companies in the world, whether it's Steinway or Bluthner or Boisendorfer, everybody who started those companies, they're all dead. Everybody's dead except for Paolo Fazioli. So he is the world's #1 piano maker. He's alive. I got to become friends with him. And you know what? His piano is the future. And game music really is the classical music of the future, and he understands that too. So we decided, instead of Abbey Road, that we would record this album on the newest recording studio in Poland. So we went to this fabulous studio that
Тоже, блядь, знал.
11 channels.
Тоже, сука, знал.
Mr. Fazioli brought in his best Fazioli concert band in Poland. In fact, there was a very kind of a piano war during the week that I recorded it, because the winner of the Chopin competition was performing in Warsaw that same weekend that I was recording, and as was the winner of the Arthur Rubinstein International Piano Competition. Both of those pianists wanted that same piano, but Mr. Fazioli said, Paul Romero gets to use the piano for his recording of Heroes 3.
So sounds incredible. And when we will be able to hear the new album?
Yes, it's recorded on his piano.
Охуеть, блядь.
That is the most important thing.
Я просто правда в ахуе до сих
Coming out
пор.
next year with the music.
Ну, раз пол будет, значит, можно пока в виш-лист закинуть в эту игру, на самом деле, я так думаю.
The music with the editor. So
Но все равно вот пока... Вот, раз пол будет, значит, будет слушаться хорошо игра, а вот как насчет и того, как выглядит игра, пока еще вопросы есть во многом. Ну, за Пола, конечно, спасибо.
The new soundtrack of the Olden Era. The Olden Era sounds really good as a solo piano recital as well. So I'm really happy in the future to play that music too as piano pieces. So it's all very exciting for me.
Аноним пишет, делают все возможное, конечно, чтобы сластить фанатам. Ну, в принципе-то так-то, ну да. Но что уж поделать, что имеем.
I'm doing a couple of other games that I'm really looking forward to. One is a medieval Japanese game that takes place both at nighttime and daytime. So this is the first time I've ever done nighttime, daytime music, whatever.
Это он намекает на то, что он работал над этим, над Assassin's Creed Shadows.
With a very famous person who I can't say yet, but
can we expect a bit more concerts? Sorry.
Yes. Yes. I think that I talked to Maestro Alberski, Heroes Orchestra. I am turning 60 years old, unfortunately, next September.
Oh, you look just great. You look just great.
Well, thank you. So I thought, I asked the Maestro, why don't we celebrate it'll be the 8th birthday? Or I think it's going to be the 8th birthday of Heroes Orchestra next September. I go, why don't we celebrate your birthday, my birthday, and why don't we do like a bunch of concerts in a week? We do all the Heroes music, including the old.
Полушка с нами, блядь. Я пошел добавлять виш-лист, если что. Golden Arrow.
To the 17th. If all goes well, and we're just going to do a plethora of concerts and have a week of celebrating Heroes music and the Olden Era. I think it'll be probably the first time we're going to play the Olden Era.
It's the first time when we will work with the Heroes Orchestra as well. Maybe
Так, все, желаемые пошли.
There's a great sound, just great guys, just incredible guys.
It's an amazing cycle. The fans of Heroes gathered together to form an orchestra, and now they are actually part of the new Heroes franchise and soundtracks. So it just shows how beautiful the universe works.
Yes, and they will orchestrate all
Охренеть, блин.
I can't wait.
Just sounds incredibly perfect because they are not just, as musicians, but they are great fans of the heroes as well. They are players as well. So it's really have here them on the board as well.
Вот это, конечно, подарок на Рождество, скажем так.
As we saw, just incredibly excited about your involvement about our announcement.
Well, I am as excited as they are to hear this one of the pieces from the Olden Era. I composed it here in Los Angeles on the keyboard, orchestrated it. So to hear it for the first time live, like after I've only finished the song like a month ago, so to hear it live is going to be an amazing experience for me. So I feel like I'm going to be here in LA listening with great anticipation, and just to see my friends on stage and the maestro, and just to know that we are going to be working together in the future. It's very beautiful. It's like watching your extended musical family together, and so I'm very, very excited.
Yeah. At our side again, it was a long road, but we're really excited about our announcement. And again, it's an honor for all of us, for all our team, to work with such incredible talent like you. We all have, and like all audience, like all Heroes fans have.
Блять, вот гады, а, блять, столько нахуй.
For this awesome IP.
Столько, блядь, времени тянули, что-то обманывали вроде как где-то, блядь, слухи были.
Yes. Thank you so much as well for joining us on the live stream and giving the audience exactly what they were looking for, hopefully today.
Thank you. Enjoy the concert. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you as well
Have a
for
good-
joining.
Okay, bye guys.
Охренеть, блядь. Охренеть. Просто вот гады, блин.
We definitely did our best to satisfy you and to make it to make everything fun. It's not the end. It's not the end. Please stay with us. And if for some reason if you still did not added the game to the wishlist in Steam, please do it. It's quite important for us, for every one of you, to just click one button, just add the game to the wish list right now. And if you did this, thank you for this. You are free to ask your friends and share the information about the game. Like you see, we do our best to present you the best possible things for you. And it's not just about the music, it's about everything. That's our approach to the development. We want to present you best what we possibly do. So it's not just approach in terms of music, but in overall development of the project. That's how we work.
Че вы еще покажете этот, блядь, как его новую эту расу?
And who are the fans of the franchise, to present the best possible experience. And believe me, our game is great, and hopefully you will see it in the nearest future. So yeah, I guess we can pick some before we'll go for the next part, because again, it's not there. It's not there.
Yes, guys, we have a few more surprises in store for you. So
Yes,
stick with us.
Yes. There will be something else. So yes, Mr. As we saw in the announcement video, we have some kind of dream team here. I guess the pretty obvious question: why we kept this everything in secret? It's pretty common question, I guess. You know that we developed our game for more than 3 years before the announcement, so we tried to keep everything in secret to make a surprise, and I guess it was a surprise. And now we are really great to present the music for you, but we haven't presented earlier. Before we will be sure that we have everyone on board. Paul Anthony Romero, Chris Velasco, and Heroes Orchestra together will combine some kind of dream team for us to create possibly awesome music. Because a lot of people say, for me, the music for Heroes of Might and Magic is, 50% of the experience of the game. And I totally agree. I'm a huge fan of the great Romero's work. I'm gonna say that we will publish the announcement video, and you will be able to hear the first. You already heard the first track, and this exact track, greatly inspired by one of my favorite ones, personally, the Grass Dam from Heroes 2.
Да ладно, блядь. Вы еще выложите этот
So you will be able to hear
трек?
the first
Нихуя себе,
track
блядь.
from Paul Anthony Romero as the music for the announcement video. So yeah, okay. So we are going for something next one.
Че еще
guys,
покажете, блядь?
We have another surprise for you very soon. That's why I stopped the scenes. And one last thing before we go for that is a lot of you have asked whether we have a pre-order available or not already. And the answer here is the best way to support Unfrozen, to support Oldenera, is for you guys to wishlist the game on Steam. And the details for the early access and pre-orders and everything else will come closer to the release date, of course, not just now. So if you want to support us, make sure that you're wishlisting the game on Steam right now. It's not too much of a bother anyway, right? So on to the next announcement very soon. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to post them in the chat right now.
Да, блядь, показывайте давайте уже, потом попиздите, блядь, сука. Show it's already, блядь.
I guess everything should work.
Yeah, we thank you all of you for the dedication and the support you've given us as well. It's been amazing.
Hello? Mr. Velasco, can you please turn on the camera? Okay.
Yes, there we go.
Это что за хер? Кто,
We
блядь?
couldn't only have Romero with us, so we have Chris Velasco as well, of course.
А,
Could we not have both composers with us? And yeah, it's very
другой
nice meeting you,
композитор.
Chris.
What a great talent.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Понятно.
Yeah, how are you? Could you please introduce yourself as well to the audience? Since we're live right now, I'm sure everyone would love to meet you as well. And
Oh, nice. Yeah, hey everybody. I am Chris Velasco. I've been working in games for probably 20 years-ish. I got my first big break with the original God of War, and I've worked on other games like Mass Effect and Borderlands and Bloodborne, Company of Heroes, Fortnite, Overwatch, Resident Evil, and now Heroes, which has always been literally a dream of mine.
yeah, that sounds amazing.
We all know that you are not just always an awesome composer, but also big fan of Heroes 3. Is it right?
That is true. I played.
Не, так-то оно так, но я просто сейчас, честно говоря, не вспомню, какие именно его треки были, например, в StarCraft 2. Вот. Блять, я даже попью сейчас. Просто ебануться нахуй, нихуя себе.
Lugging that over to someone's house, networking them all, and playing Heroes 3 until the wee hours of the morning. But yeah, I've loved this game for so long. I have wanted to work on this franchise ever since then, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be working with you guys now.
Yes, likewise. We are actually very excited about joining us. It's again, it's so great to have such a huge star like you on our board to work with us on the soundtrack as well. It's really great, actually. Alex, you wanted to ask another question, I guess?
Yes, of course, it's an honor to be working with you as well, Chris, and we're hoping for a really nice collaboration between us. And yeah, what could you describe as the highlights of your music career? You've already mentioned a lot of the games you've worked on earlier, but what do you think would be the most important ones in your opinion, or that had most impact on you?
Не, меня, короче, вот сейчас один из анонимов написал, что долго тебя обрабатывали, видимо, и не зря. Не. На самом деле, я просто рад тому, что Пол, в принципе, Ромеро вернулся. Вот. То, что вопросы были, они так, как были, так и остаются.
It sounds so cheesy, but everything's sort of a career highlight. Like I just get so excited about every project that I do, but I'm currently on it. And you could say, oh, what's your favorite music?
По вопросам без изменений.
Usually it's what I'm currently working on. So highlights. God, I don't know. One big creative influence for myself has been Clive Barker. Actually, I'm a big horror fan, and I love his books, and I loved his movies, and I always wanted to work with him. And through a series of events, I got to do that. I worked on his game Jericho, so that was a big highlight for me. I always wanted to work on Star Wars, and I got to do the VR game Vader Immortal a couple of years ago. I've always wanted to work on Harry Potter. I just got to finish a cool Harry Potter game. And I've always wanted to work on Heroes of Might and Magic, so I think this is my next, career highlight.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of huge names there in terms of,
Охренеть, блин.
I guess the
Они вернули Пола Ромеро, сука!
These games had an impact on people and how popular they were. So, but you mentioned Heroes. Do you actually remember the first time you played a game of Heroes, and how was it?
I don't know if I remember the exact first time, but I certainly remember the first few months of playing it. And you know, what I really loved about it was that it was turn-based, because I'm so terrible at real-time strategy and micromanaging, and you know, I like to just be in my moment, do my thing, not feel the outside pressure of oh, I'm getting rated or whatever. The only problem that I remember having with friends is that you know, as you recruited more and more heroes and you were spreading across the map, your turn could take like forever, and people would get frustrated. And so I mean, your turn could last like half an hour. So I remember we eventually put time limits on it, which I assume you can do in the game too, but we imposed our own time limits on that.
All right, very nice to know these things, and very nice to know more about you as well and what you'd prefer there. So,
Can I ask? Also some question, I guess, from chat. So what instruments do you prefer when you create the music? What's your favorite instruments?
Well, I mean, this score I think is going to be largely orchestral, and you know, I mean, the orchestra is made up of so many instruments, but you can think of it as an instrument itself, I suppose. But you know, I don't like to play favorites too much. I think it's just whatever the scene or character or location or battle or whatever. We just have to see how it plays out. They have a tendency to tell me, you know, what they want. I was just working on some heroes actually yesterday, so but it's got the full orchestra. There's some solo vocals, there's some choir, there's some big percussion, there's, you know, all the things you would expect.
Awesome. Is there an instrument you never find a place in your music sheets or whatever you'd have to compose?
Is there what?
Is there an instrument you would never find a place for? Just something that you don't think it's viable?
No, I think everything's great, and I've got I can even give you guys a little studio tour if you want, but I'll grab, you know, like just a random instrument I have right here. Like, I haven't found a place for this yet. This is called a mudFircrab.
Это что-то из китайско-азиатского?
Yeah, it's sort of a Mongolian cello.
Ну, я почти угадал.
This is snakeskin. The mudFircrabs, they all have this horse head.
No.
It's just 2 strings, but I am terrible at playing this, but I know people that are really, really good at it. So maybe this will find its way into Heroes. I don't know. That would be cool.
That would be amazing indeed. Wow.
Just put this back.
All right. A question about what you said before as well. The wiki also mentions working on Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. So I guess you already have some experience with the Heroes games, don't you?
That's true. That's true. I never quite considered that, you know, like the classic Heroes game. But no, for sure, that is part of the IP and the lore. And yeah, Heroes, that was super fun. We recorded that. That was actually my first, not my first live score, but close to it. And I remember traveling to the Czech Republic, to Prague to record that one.
So it was recorded in the Czech Republic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow. Okay, very nice to know. Very nice to know. What are your plans for 2025 coming up? And I guess working on Olden Era, but what else?
Well, I'm actually leaving today to fly to Florida with my wife to go see her family for Christmas. And then I'm going to take a couple of weeks off. And then, you know, 25 already has some cool projects lined up. I can't really talk about them except for Heroes. But I'm just super excited. I hate to not be in the studio writing. it's hard for me to take time off. So I'm gonna try to relax for 2 weeks, but when I get back, I'm really excited to get working on this.
You said you already worked on Thus. It's not it's not a secret now. For some tracks for Golden Era already. So maybe
Охуеть,
without
блядь.
revealing too
Просто
much,
пиздануться, блядь.
maybe you say something about what exactly inspired you for creating these exact tracks and what's your overall feeling of working with the team.
Вы же глядите, они, сука, все-таки смогли достать Ромеро, блядь.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away. I don't know what's giving things away or what's not, but I did work on, I think that's not a spoiler, but yesterday I worked on the opening cinematic, and it's not gameplay, it's rendered, but it looks beautiful, and I love seeing all the factions and I don't want to give away any of the storyline, but something like that, I just let the story influence me, and that's it almost writes itself. It tells you, it's like, this is happening. That sometimes it's hard to mess up the cinematics because it just feels so intuitive. Like, at least in my brain, it feels intuitive on what to do, how to accentuate the drama that's going on.
I think it's intuitive only for talented person because I get what you're saying sounds incredibly difficult to do, to be honest. We haven't revealed any information about cinematic at the moment, but hopefully we will share a bit more about it in the future. There will be some, and now you know that. So, yeah. All right, Alex.
Yeah. What else could we even ask you? You've said so much about everything already, but what are you most excited about Golden Era, I guess, and working with us? Is this the experience that you were always expecting with Heroes, I suppose?
Yeah, well, we just started, so at least with me. So
Охренеть, блядь. Не, правда, я до сих пор в ахуе с того, что Ромеро, блядь, с нами. Охуеть.
With you guys is great, and I've now played the game, and I've already spent hours on Golden Era here in my studio, and I just have to say it's as fun as I remember, but like even more so because it's graphically it looks amazing, but it's got all the stuff that that's like so fun and nostalgic.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you as well. Very nice.
So as you see, Chris already played the game, and his impressions are pretty good. All right, maybe some last words for our audience in the end.
Sure. I mean, I could do it'll take 30 seconds. I could give you a quick tour of my studio where I'm going to be writing all the music.
Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Why not? Sure.
Would be great.
All right, let me, I assume everybody can see the video.
Да видим мы тебя, видим.
All right. This is where I'm doing all my work, but this is the studio.
The piano instead of the keyboard.
Ну это и у Пола было, когда он показывал себя. Ой, блядь, я обновил картинку, сука, блядь. Вот это я облажался.
Yelling at me. And you'll notice I came through a door, but where is the door?
No, where is the door?
Well, the door.
Oh, it's some kind of secret one.
Нихуя себе, блядь.
No way.
Нихуя себе у него дверь, блядь.
Secret door.
It's so funny.
And now I'm in here.
Охуеть, у него отдельная дверь, блядь. Приколдесная.
All right, thank you a lot for this great tour. Maybe some last words for Heroes fan, which are watching the stream before we will end.
Sure. I've been wanting to work on this game for over 20 years. So I'm going to do a great job. I'm really excited. I think you guys are going to love this game, and I can't wait for you to play and to hear it.
Yeah, we can't wait to be working with you as well, and it's an amazing collaboration here. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, we want to deeply thank you for your involvement and for your talent.
Thank you.
Hopefully together we will create not just some great soundtrack, which we are sure, but some great project overall. Hopefully it will be fun for everyone. And thank you again.
Too.
It's great to have you on board. Thank you.
Great.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us on the live stream, and happy holidays, of course. Since Christmas is coming soon, we hope you have an amazing time in the holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
Охренеть, блядь. Просто ёбнуться, блядь.
All right, guys. So again, as I said before, we have pretty great collaboration here today. And
Есть такое, есть такое.
For every one of you. I guess it was mostly common question which were asked in the social media and YouTube and Discord and so on. What about the music? What is happening? Where is the music? Why you do not reveal the music? So now you know the answer. All this time we worked pretty hard to make something very, very great and something very, very satisfying for you guys. And we also spoiled it a bit. We said that you will not be disappointed. And hopefully you guys are not disappointed with our today's announcement.
Ну, есть такой момент, есть такой момент.
We're definitely hoping the announcement went well.
And it's so nice, so great to see so many people which were posting some positive stuff in chat. Thanks again.
Только в чат.
Again, Paul Romero, Chris Velasca, and Heroes Orchestra as well, which will orchestrate on the music too. So, I guess we can answer some questions, but I think it's pretty obvious. One, how can we combine all of this? And we already some answered that. We hope Heroes Orchestra, which are great guys. As I said, you all know them, and we are very proud to say that Chris said that he already played the game, but the thing is that we had some kind of presentation for Heroes Orchestra and for some other people in Poland a few months ago, and we gave them the opportunity to play the game, and they also said that they like it. So again, they are not just great musicians, but they're great players. They're players as well, and Heroes fan as well. So it's quite important for us when they are involved in the process of creating the music to feel the vibe of the game, to feel our overall approach for the project. So I think we want to create, something solid. Something which will possibly overcome some previous projects and create something.
Что же вы еще чертяки покажете?
But at the same new as well. That's why we made this collaboration. I'm gonna say it was.
Так, по звуку все окей, надеюсь.
In terms of bureaucracies and some other stuff, I obviously cannot reveal the bureaucratic side of you for you. It's not interesting, but at the same time, I think hopefully in the end we will hear something interesting as well. And again, you are able to hear the first track already. This track created by Paul Anthony Romero. You are able to post your impressions about this track. This exact track in the comments, so please do it. We definitely know your opinion about it. For me personally, it's really nice, it's really great. So, but please keep in mind that creating the music requires time, so do not expect too many announcements soon. Also, our project is original, as we said. It's not some kind of remake of previous game. It's not. Sometimes people ask, "Is it a remake of Heroes 3?" No, it's not a remake of Heroes 3. We want to make our own project, the new installment of Heroes of Might and Magic. But at the same time, I'm gonna announce that probably there will be some, let's say, few familiar tracks from some previous installments in the game. Not too many, of course. Again, we want to create original music. That's why we created this awesome collaboration. But probably there will be a few other familiar tracks just to entertain you guys. Well, you already heard that we're using some old music for our announcement. Maybe we will use some old music in nearest announcement as well, before people are creating new tracks, and Heroes Orchestra will be able to compose everything. So, all right. I think there is we can ask some additional questions from chat.
We have so many questions from chat, actually.
So we can continue Q&A at this point.
All right. Well, the most asked question from chat today probably has been, what about the secret race? What about the 6 races? When will we show all of them? And the answer, guys, is closer to early access. We are planning for 6 factions to be revealed in the early access game. So the secret race will be revealed closer to early access as well, but you can expect it. You don't need to be worried about that.
Yeah, there will be announcement of the next factions, and the 6 ones, let's say, a bit secret. Even though we saw that some things were a bit spoiled, but please wait for official announcement. In terms of factions, again, our project is not the remake or something. It's what's quite important for us.
Да мы знаем, что это не ремейк, ёб твою мать. Ну, Денис, блядь, ты уже 300 раз про это говорил, ёбаный рот.
We want to create some, let's say, classical factions, some traditional ones. And when I say traditional, a lot of people ask why there are elves in dungeon, la la la. But again, in terms of lore, that the events of the game happens in Jedemi, and it's literally dark elves territory, dark elves. We are actually trying to be pretty careful about overall law. So that's
да, Киров, ну.
And
мы видели пока что.
For the 6 faction, there will be announcement later in the future. And at the same time, again, some factions are classical ones, and some factions are experimental ones, because we are sure that people definitely want something new. We didn't want to make all the factions, old school, because the game probably became stale and boring to play on and on, same and same for 25 years. So we want to introduce something new, and at the same time, something new which fits with the current existed DNA of the franchise as well. So stay tuned for the announcement in terms of factions. I know everyone is interested, and at the same time, we will reveal more information about units, about their abilities. You will be able to see parts of the live gameplay. There is a pretty long road ahead. We have some months before the game will come to early access, but again, in terms of the release date for early access, we still have second quarter of 2022. It didn't change. Hopefully it will not change as well.
Yeah, awesome to hear all of this, of course, and we hope you guys enjoy all the reveals. Of course, don't worry about the factions. We will make sure that you get to know all of the information before early access comes in, and yeah, we have a lot in store for you. So get ready for much more to come. Obviously, early next year. I guess for a few more specific questions, Dennis. What could you say about the leveling skill tree, and how will heroes work in our game?
Well, we have traditional system of picking skills, but at the same time, we wanted to implement something new. So we created overall philosophy of the game, in terms of game design, is to get.
Так, сейчас пока не пиздят, надо
Base
проверить
gameplay
кое-какой
loop,
момент.
which is for me it's just great, just
Мгм.
awesome. The base gameplay loop of Heroes 3 and Heroes 2 was just close.
Ну, понятно, тут прям
and
музыка,
just
короче,
improve
за
some
анонсами.
things which obviously
Прикольно,
require
прикольно.
to be a bit more improved and a bit more deep. So answering your
Блять, я
question
в
in
ахуе
terms
до
of
сих пор.
skill system, you will be able
Какие же
at
гадкие
each level
люди,
up,
а?
you will be able to pick one of the perks like before, like in previous installments. But at the same time, there will be sub-skill system, so you will be able to improve your existing skills. And it, you know, it's some kind of close to roguelikes. From one point of view, it's random because it's quite important to keep the randomness element in the game. Again, it was always a part of the game. We don't want the game to be too deterministic, but at the same time to give the player the freedom to level up their hero like they want to. I know it's probably some kind of sounds like mutually exclusive, but it's quite important to keep the balance between randomness and deterministic stuff. So hopefully soon we will be able to reveal the more information about skills and sub-skill tree system. It's familiar but new at the same time, like all what we do. Don't worry, please don't worry. We will show the gameplay for sure, but just
But not
stay
now.
tuned. The game exists, and we have a lot of stuff to show. But we do not want to spoil too much before the early access, and we will definitely show the whole gameplay session, I hope, close to early access. But just please be patient.
All right, very nice to know all of these things, of course. And I guess another question that we should ask and we should respond to is, how long do you anticipate the early access to be overall for us, Dennis?
Well, we have pretty good experience with our previous project, Eratos Lord of the Dead. By the way, if you like, you can buy this game. I guess this game is good. It's available on Steam. And the game was on early access for around a year. But the overall philosophy for us is not to rush too much. You know, some games stays in early access for years. So right now we're planning to be in early access up until we know that the game is finished and it's in the proper state. And it will depend so at least for a year, maybe later, maybe more. So we should be absolutely sure that we got from one point of view we need to polish, we will require to polish the project properly, and at the same time answer most of the questions of the fan, and to get all the feedback, all possible feedback. For example, for Eratos, we were forced to implement let's say whole new system in terms of leveling characters in the process of early access. I cannot promise that we will, rebuild the build completely in the process of early access, but we will definitely keep in mind all your suggestions, and we'll do our best to do possible best heroes possible.
Okay, Dennis, I have one more question for you. Why are the Gorgons only mounts for dungeon heroes, and will they be in a roster for some?
Мой вопрос зачитали, сука!
Again, it's quite there are only 7 spots for the units in the roster, so we should pick them up carefully. And again, in terms of lore for the dungeon factions, it was quite important for us to present that the vibe of the continent, the Jedemi. And so we are basing our work not on just Heroes 2, Heroes 3, like the games that existed, and then the game about Enrod, let's say that. But about Might and Magic 8, we should keep in mind that there is deep lore for Might and Magic, and especially for Might and Magic 8. So our faction's philosophy deeply inspired not just overall Heroes legacy, but Might and Magic 8 legacy. That's why we choose to pick these exact units for the faction.
Короче, понятно.
There are some elves there. Tier 3 will be announced a bit later, but I'm gonna spoil it's elf as well, dark elf as well. So yeah. So in terms of talking about Gorgons, we like them, but we do not have too much space for them in the roster. Let's say that. Right, I cannot say at the moment there will be Gorgons in the game and for the future, but maybe some naturals, but no promises.
All right, we have a little bit more time actually, so we can answer another question or two.
Sure.
Are there any plans for DLCs, and also what about founder packs or any kinds of packs for the early access? We've had a lot of questions about this today actually.
Well, we know that people do not like some additional DLC when the game are in early access state, and we understand that. Again, we have some previous experience. For example, for Iratus, when the game came to early access,
Охуеть,
we
блядь.
had supporters pack.
Мой вопрос, блядь, зачитали.
But no promises yet. Probably.
Вот это, блядь, кайф. Вот это кайф.
So, what can I say? That all updates in early access will be obviously free. And we will mostly focus on making the game
Прям с
better
кайфом сейчас.
and improving the gameplay itself, fixing the bugs, taking the feedback to consideration. So all DLC which are possibly will be planned after 1.0, definitely 1.0. So this is the story for 1.0 and after early access. Let's say a year or two after when we will finish early access. So at the release, probably there will be supporters pack, but it's an additional conversation. So we will announce our plans later.
Okay, everyone. Well, this was all for our Q&A today. We are having one more surprise for you, which is going to be the Heroes Orchestra concert, as many of you have seen already. They're live, and they're going to also have one of the tracks from Olden Era orchestrated today at the end of each concert, because there will be 2 in total. We will be streaming and hosting both as well. Actually, a funny fact here is Bart, our community manager at Taril, is one of the performers in the orchestra itself, so maybe you'll see him in there as well. But we thank you all, of course, for joining us. I will be sending you very, very soon to the Heroes Orchestra stream. And happy holidays from me. Dennis, would you like to say some words to the audience as well?
Yeah, again, I'm gonna thank you, all of you, for your great involvement. Without you, this project will not be possible. So please continue to give us our
вернулись собаки.
Please continue to share your ideas with us. It's very, very important for us to hear you. And as you see, as you, I guess, clearly saw from this announcement, we definitely do our best to satisfy you and do everything best for you. So thanks again for your great involvement. Let's create next great heroes, possibly together, and I definitely hope it will happen. I wish you great holidays. Thanks a lot again, and please stay with us, because there is a real stream for Heroes Orchestra.
Yes,
concert.
We have a live concert coming right up. So.
Live concert, yes.
Thanks, you guys.
Again.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone, and enjoy the concert.
А, серьезно, блядь? Типа, дальше все это остальное время будет концерт Heroes Orchestra? Так, что это упал стрим? Блядь. Подупал немножко стрим. У них. Не, ну это, конечно, блядь, просто разъеб, слушайте. Ну, я имею в виду в плане этого, господи, Пола Ромеро. Ну-ка, я пока тогда зайду на YouTube, где через второе окошечко и почекаю. Там вроде обещали, да, вот они, это не то. А, это лайвстрим, короче, будет и тех, понятно. Так. Ну, в принципе, нам этот видосик и показали, который вот сейчас они выложили в этот. Или нет? Или это не то? Ща, короче, посмотрим нахуй. Там что-то другое, судя по этим... по кадрам. Ща пока не просто... Все то же самое, что и было, ну-ка. Хотя не, вроде все то же самое. Да, это нам показывали, да, значит все, это мы уже все видели на стриме. Ну-ка, а вот момент такой. Так, ну этого мы видели, борцуна магического. Ага, это некрасы, это эти. Ну-ка, блядь, а герой там может быть какой-нибудь другой, не? Не, герой некраса. Окей. Ну, короче, пока они играют музыку из старых героев, вот. Я тогда пока отойду, раз они играют. И потом подобсудим еще. Так, еще раз. Мы, короче говоря, сейчас хотя бы нормально, думаю, меня слышно, в общем. Подобсудим. И в итоге что случилось? Нам показали Пола Ромеро, что он, да, работает над игрой. Это хорошо, конечно. Там аноним, короче, немножко разбушевался, что Денис в кавычках известный лоровед, теперь что он не скажет, все будет каноном. Вот. Ну так, к слову просто. О, нихуя тут, блядь, нихуя. Че показали? Вот я так понимаю, некрополисовский этот, как его. Сейчас его даже открою. Ебать. Ну, конечно, мыльно довольный скриншот получился. Вот. Ну, поле битвы города, конечно, немножко так себе выглядит. Мне не сильно нравится, но довольно прикольно. Еще меня, если честно, бесит вот эти вот скосы нахуй по бокам этой, как его, быдлограундов. Они просто нахуй ни к чему, блядь. Я хуй знает. Так. Сука! Начинаю подозревать, что вы специально решили игру сделать, чтобы везде поучаствовать. Да, мы просто на концерт хотели издалека зайти. Сука. Блять. Кто ж, сука, знал, что эти гады позовут, сука, Пола Ромерыча? Кто ж, собака, знал, блять?
Ебать заголовок стрима Кулстаурбауп.
Привет, привет, привет. Заголовок стрима, такой заголовок стрима. Не, ну обсуждаем, правда, без купюр. Это вот эти вот дурачки из Unfrozen будут не говорить матерных слов в таком духе. А я-то буду. Я буду говорить слово блять, я буду говорить слово сука и так далее, и так далее. Поэтому я и пишу, что без купюр. Вот. Ну, всякие дети, обиженки, конечно, нахуй пусть идут. Кто их, блядь, звал?
Сука, не мат.
Ну я знаю, ну ты понял, что я имею в виду. Ну, я не знаю, всякие обиженки бывают. Например, на то, что ты материшься в ролике. У меня много таких было комментариев под роликом по Olden Era, что типа, блядь, стример матерится, ай-яй, фу-фу-фу. И в таком духе, поэтому нахуй ебал.
Прям много.
Ну, в процентном соотношении много. И по поводу того, что произошло. Короче говоря, чуваки...
Когда материшься как спожник.
Короче говоря, в чем прикол главный сегодняшнего этого стрима? Чуваки из Unfrozen нам показали, что над музыкой Golden Era работает Пола Ромеро, и это заебись. Б, работает чел, который писал музыку для God of War, StarCraft 2 и Borderlands. Я забыл, Крис Веласко, по-моему, или как так его зовут. И 3, музыку записывать будут Heroes Orchestra, которых вы видите сейчас на стриме. Вот. Это 3 таких мега-анонса. Не, молодцы, я не спорю. Еще мой вопрос, кстати, спросили на стриме.
Похую как-то.
Ну, тебе может быть похую, а мне нет. Мне герои всегда нравились, и я буду за ними следить очень-очень пристально, и буду всякие вопросы задавать и так далее. Вот, еще мой вопрос, кстати, задали на стриме по поводу Гаргон, типа, какого хуя не только маунты, и все в таком духе, будут ли они как нейтралы. И ответ был то, что мы их выбрали, типа, потому что лор, якобы, который они прописали, будет именно лор, короче, маунты Гаргону. И их пока в нейтралах в релизе не будет, но, возможно, с обновлениями они добавят их как нейтралов. Вот. И, ну, сейчас вот то, что было в Дискорде, показано, отдельно показали вот эту вот быдлограунду. Ну, единственное, что меня реально бесит...
А мне всегда нравились. Мне тоже нравится. И что? Просто зачем делать инфоповоды из херни?
Не, ты не понимаешь, это другое. Не, главный инфоповод то, что Пол вернулся, скажем так. Вот это главный инфоповод, потому что ходили слухи, что его не вернут, и то, что жадный Ubisoft нихуя не захотели ему заплатить за работу. Вот. Че, по поводу быдлограундов я хотел сказать. Меня бесит вот эти вот скосы ебаные по бокам быдлограундов. Они нахуй не нужны, на самом деле. Это просто какой-то гиммик ебаный, который нахуй не уперся. Вот. Ну, в принципе, я вроде бы все сказал, скажем так, из того, что было. Это прям если краткое саммари провести. До сих пор у меня, конечно, вопросы к еще вот этому вот уебанскому визуальному стилю игры, который меня прям просто до сих пор, блядь, вымораживает. Ну, уже даже как-то, типа, что поделаешь, блядь. Не, ну понимаешь, мелочи, но из этих мелочей, когда их много, и ты смотришь на картину в целом, у тебя начинают закрадываться вопросы, которые, скажем так, у меня закрались. Ну, поэтому, как бы, можно все что угодно говорить, что, типа, ну, стиль как стиль, там, это не то не пятое, и в таком духе. И все это приводить, но на самом деле это не так. Из мелочей, на самом деле, складывается общая картина очень даже хорошо. Когда вот этих мелочей ебальненьких много, ну, как бы, ну, такое себе. Да, все правильно я, значит, назвал имя Крис Веласко. Сейчас как раз, когда всем, кто пришел поздно, покажу видосер. В частности, тебе, Максвелл. Все равно они играют пока только треки из стройки.
Ага. Ну окей.
И вот это, кстати, трек, который играет сейчас на фоне, ну, не короче, не вот то, что вот эти из Heroes Orchestra играют, да? А вот этот вот трек, который в видосере на фоне, это Пол Ромеро написал. И это Грасс Тем. Наш гачи-бой.
The team at Unfrozen has asked me to compose a music for their upcoming game called Big Olden Era. I'm very happy to do my best to write some music for this wonderful project that is part of the universe of Heroes of Might and Magic. So, in 2025, I hope you enjoy some of the new tunes, and I hope to see all of you very, very soon.
Hey everyone, this is Chris Velasco.
Вот он, да, God of War, Bloodborne, StarCraft 2, Borderlands и Mass Effect. Писал музыку.
Might and Magic has been one of my favorite franchises. I can't even remember how many hours I played Heroes 3. It's been literally a dream of mine to work on this IP for many, many years. So I'm just super, super happy that these guys are letting me come on board, and I can promise you I'm going to do my best work on this, and I think we're all going to be happy.
Hi everyone, I'm Mateusz, conductor and creator of the Heroes Orchestra project. I'm really happy to announce that Heroes Orchestra will work on new Heroes game. We are a group of professional musicians, but also players of Heroes of Might and Magic series. We will orchestrate whole soundtrack and make sure.
Ну вот, и они, короче, будут играть саундтрек. Запишут.
Together with Unfrozen,
поляки.
we want to impress you with very cool new Heroes of Might and Magic game.
А, это отсюда скрин, нихуя себе, блядь. Я думал, это я. Ага, получается, все-таки ангелы это лучники. Вот. Тут их можно увидеть. Видимо, они все-таки лучниками будут. Или как-то можно будет их свапать в лучников. Вот. Короче, вот такой вот видосик. Кстати, надо бы лайк въебать за то, что Пол все-таки там был. Стоп, это что, блядь? Это Альфина, нахуй? Просто девушка, которая сейчас типа поет, она очень на Альфину похожа, блядь. Без шуток. Сейчас так моментик.
Dzień dobry Państwu, witamy bardzo, bardzo serdecznie na przedostatnim koncercie w tym roku, mimo tego, że zaraz się rok kończy. Przed Państwem Heroes of Might and Magic, główne menu, jedna z bardziej kultowych melodii z Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Brakuje nam tu jednego super istotnego instrumentu. Czy ktoś z Państwa wie, jaki to jest instrument? Klawesyn, bardzo dobrze. A odmiana klawesynu bliźniacza, która stoi na scenie, nazywa się? O! No jest duża cisza. Okej. Taki duży instrument stoi tajemniczy gdzieś na sali i tam nikt nie siedzi. Co to może być za instrument? Tak! To fortepian! Na scenę zapraszam Bartka Baranowskiego!
Так, это не Альфина, короче, понятно. Так, окей, еще этот дурачок выпустил видео. Блять. А в смысле, типа, премьера еще будет? Вы охуели, блядь? Я думаю, уже вышел ролик у него. О, это знаменитое вступление! Бля, вот это, конечно, кайфово. Ладно, короче, понятно. Дальше чуваки будут играть свое, а мы тогда посмотрим вот у этого дурачка, что вышло.
Что? Пол Ромеро возвращается?
Hello, I am Paul Romero, and I am very happy to announce that the team Unfrozen has asked me to compose some music for their upcoming game, The Olden era.
Зацените, что подготовили для нас разработчики Olden Era. Невероятная команда композиторов будет работать вместе над музыкой нового проекта. Давайте же скорее разбираться в такой наикрутейшей новости. Итак, как стало известно, буквально...
Ну, новость наикрутейшая, тут
команда
прям без
Unfrozen
шуток.
пригласила для написания треков именитых геройских композиторов. И начать, конечно же, хотелось бы с Пола Энтони Ромеро. Величайший композитор, о котором наслышан буквально каждый геройщик. Под монументальные,
Ну, это база.
благозвучные мелодии автора орки штурмовали эльфийский оплот, а рыцари Эрафии доблестно держали защиту против кошмарных обитателей преисподней. Музыка для героев стала настолько популярной,
Бля, Battle
что
2,
автор создал
охуеть.
симфонию на основе лучших тем из этой серии. Композитор признается, что для написания саундтреков к играм всегда вдохновлялся классической музыкой. Например, музыка для крепости в «Третьих героях» перекликается с концертом Прокофьева для фортепиано. Ромеро отмечает, что черпает вдохновение из совершенно разных источников своих воспоминаний и ощущений. Мы безумно рады, что Пол Ромеро и на сей раз принимает активное участие.
Есть такое, есть такое. И это прям реально кайф.
Вы думаете, на одной легенде все и заканчивается? Как бы не так. Далее нас ожидает настоящий мастодонт созданий композиций для различных игр. Знакомьтесь, Крис Веласко, без преувеличения, один из самых востребованных композиторов в индустрии видеоигр на сегодняшний день.
А он еще и для Overwatch делал. Нихуя себе.
Для таких крутых проектов, как God of War, Splinter Cell, Mortal Kombat, Mass Effect, Borderlands, Bloodborne, Assassin's Creed, Overwatch. И это лишь начало списка.
Нихуя себе, блядь.
Просто дух захватывает от того, что такой крутой композитор является частью проекта. И да, стоит отметить, что Крис Веласко далеко не белая ворона во вселенной Меча и Магии, ведь ранее он уже участвовал в написании музыки для шестых героев и экшен-РПГ во вселенной Меча и Магии Темная Мессия, а сам во времена студенчества часто поигрывал в третьих героев в перерыве между парами. Веласко отмечает на себе влияние романов Клайва Баркера, автора книги «Восставшие из ада», а также ее экранизации. Впоследствии композитор поделился своим восторгом от работы с Баркером над видеоигрой по мотивам его произведения. Как думаете, выпадет ли Крису роль автора треков для Инфернального Роя или Некрополиса, учитывая его любовь к вышеописанным хоррорам? Ну и разумеется,
Для секретной фразы, скажем так.
симфонического геройского оркестра. Дирижер Матеуш Альберский в 2020 году закончил университет имени Шопена, что говорит о его высочайшем профессионализме. Наверняка многие из вас слышали фрагменты концертов этого коллектива на YouTube. Посетить мероприятие можно и вживую. Ребята
Но надо съездить в Польшу.
Странам. По секрету скажу, что как раз сегодня, 22 декабря, у них проходит 2 рождественских концерта в Варшаве. Что уж говорить, абсолютно все упомянутые композиторы и исполнители являются большими поклонниками серии. Они, как и мы с вами, являются частью геройской семьи. У каждого из них есть свой любимый тайтл, любимая фракция или любимый герой, но всех сплачивает одно – искреннее желание творить великую геройскую музыку. Вам наверняка не терпится узнать еще хоть какие-то подробности такого грандиозного анонса. Что ж, эксклюзивно для канала Orange мы провели флеш-интервью с Unfrozen по поводу
Знаю.
Olden Era. Денис, доброго дня тебе. Здравствуй. Хотел бы незамедлительно перейти к делу.
Но это записано было заранее, я так понимаю. Вот Orange, блядь, в этом плане уже, скажем так,
все это в тайне было для вас. И
имеет, короче, я так понял, подвязки с командой Unfrozen, и поэтому, блядь,
вы решили раскрыть исполнителей,
у него вот есть такие подвязки, блядь.
Только сейчас.
Привет, Питер, привет всем зрителям канала, замечательного канала Orange. Да, действительно, мы очень хотели сделать сюрприз, и так же, как в случае с анонсом, мы старательно шифровались и скрывали подробности нашего сотрудничества по музыке. Почему мы молчали? Действительно, у нас было очень много...
Ну как Краб попал, блядь?
Фанатов, от поклонников, собственно, самые крутые, самые залазные.
Так, сейчас еще раз.
Мы старательно
Я посмотрю.
шифровались и скрывали подробности нашего сотрудничества по музыке. Почему
Так, ну, Ксел, это понятно, это английский, короче, чат, я там не сижу
У нас было
особо.
очень много запросов от фанатов,
Ага.
поклонников, собственно, самые крутые, самые залайканные комментарии под всеми видео, на ютубе, в социальных сетях. Что с музыкой? И где Ромеро? Было очень важно подойти к решению этого вопроса ответственно, добросовестно, а самое главное, постараться никого не разочаровать. Поэтому мы не хотели раскрывать свои карты до тех пор, пока не...
Так, опять ангел в форме лучника, кстати говоря.
Не урегулируем все бюрократические...
Сейчас такой момент. Нужный скрин. И сейчас еще раз.
Никого не разочаровать. Поэтому мы не хотели раскрывать свои карты до тех пор, пока не подпишемся необходимые бумажки, не урегулируем все бюрократические детали. И безумно счастливы, что нам удалось сделать такой замечательный сюрприз и анонсировать это великолепное сотрудничество со столь замечательными, со столь талантливыми людьми. И мы безумно счастливы, что нам удалось сделать для вас сюрприз и под праздник сделать для вас вот такой вот замечательный анонс.
Мне интересно, а сложно ли вообще в принципе было собрать таких, ну, буквально мастодонтов музыки вместе под одной крышей? Сколько вообще времени вы вели вот эти самые переговоры? И много ли трудностей было в объединении такой большой команды?
Я не могу раскрывать все подробности переговоров, очевидно, но из нашего молчания...
Ну, блядь, мы же не просим...
Понятно, что дело это сложное, непростое. Все композиторы, участвующие, которые будут участвовать в нашем проекте, являются большими поклонниками серии Heroes of Might and Magic, но одновременно имеют какие-то свои собственные планы, поэтому собрать всех, подписаться со всеми, убедить всех найти время на наш проект было непросто. Тем не менее, я очень рад, что это удалось. В целом, отвечая на твой вопрос, переговоры, очевидно, шли более года. Определенные бюрократические процедуры потребовали тоже дополнительного времени для решения. Но мы очень рады, что в конце концов все получилось. И теперь мы имеем вот такой вот восхитительный Dream Team, который, надеюсь, не разочарует никого.
Блять, ну...
со мной, что
это, конечно, понятно про бюрократию всю хуйню, но мы-то спрашивали, там, будет или не будет, вы планируете или не планируете?
В другом месте это
есть две
разницы. Темное, мрачное. Давали ли вы какие-то установки в плане звучания для новой части героев композиторам и Heroes оркестра?
Нам очень важно, что несмотря на то, что у нас участвуют разные люди, и особенно поэтому, да, Ромеро, Веласко, Heroes оркестра, нам очень важно, чтобы саундтрек был цельным, и чтобы одна композиция стилистически каким-то образом перекликалась и совпадала с другой. Это всегда непростая задача, поэтому, опять же, не раскрывая детали, каждый композитор у нас получает бриф, в соответствии с которым работает. И, конечно, в качестве основных референсов мы указывали композиции из наших любимых частей героев. Ну, в частности, например, та музыка, которую вы имели возможность услышать в анонсном ролике, была создана по нашей просьбе уважаемым маэстро Полом Ромеро. Вот в качестве источника ее инспирации выступает, как вы, наверное, многие догадались, одна из любимых музыкальных композиций во всей серии. Это тема травы Grass из Heroes of Might and Magic 2. В дальнейшем мы будем следовать именно этому принципу, ну а участие Heroes оркестра позволит нам, в свою очередь, гарантировать, что все композиции будут звучать единообразно, поскольку Heroes оркестр будет оркестрировать всю музыку.
Денис, ты знаешь, было достаточно много спекуляций в интернете, во всевозможных источниках по поводу участия Пола Ромеро в вашем проекте. И мы очень рады, что наконец-то это сотрудничество официально анонсировано. Расскажи, пожалуйста, а как вам удалось, в принципе, привлечь маэстро в ваш проект и что его участие значит для вашей команды?
Да, действительно, с самого начала нам было понятно и очевидно, что без Ромеро проект будет неполным, недостаточным, не вполне состоявшимся. Мы достаточно долго вели переговоры, но должен сказать, что практически с самого начала, практически с первого созвона, маэстро проявил максимальную благожелательность к нашей работе. Он тоже искренне считает, что его имя неразрывно связано с...
Блять, вот это база нахуй у Ромерыча.
Участвовать в нашем проекте. и создавать для него музыку. Вы уже сейчас можете послушать первую версию одного из треков Ромеро в нашем анонсном трейлере и оценить его. Так что мы очень надеемся, что это сотрудничество будет плодотворным и содержательным. Ромеро уже пишет музыку для других композиций в нашей игре. Еще раз, нам безумно радостно, и вся команда очень воодушевлена, что это сотрудничество состоялось, и мы наконец-то можем об этом открыто сказать.
Ну что говорить о Поло Ромеро? Пол Ромеро — это Пол Ромеро. Его знают все, он для нас практически как Бетховен. Но Крис Веласко относительно все-таки новый человек в геройской серии. С другой же стороны, его можно назвать настоящей звездой в сфере музыки для видеоигр, потому что, Bloodborne, God of War, Mass Effect, Borderlands — это все звучит просто шикарно. Также мы помним, что он участвовал все-таки в создании 6-й части Героев и Dark Messiah. Расскажи, как вам удалось привлечь столь маститую фигуру помимо Ромеро? И самое главное, что его самого заинтересовало в вашей игре?
Можно сказать, что нам очень повезло, потому что Крис Веласко в области...
Пол Энтони Ромеро — это реально очень базованный чел.
И портфолио у него просто невероятное. Он крайне плодовитый, исключительно талантливый, исключительно яркий композитор. Мы с самого начала хотели с ним работать. Он открыто сказал нам, помимо того, что ему понравился наш проект, он является большим поклонником серии Heroes of Might and Magic и очень много играл, в частности, в Heroes 3. Поэтому для него участие в проекте по Heroes of Might and Magic тоже в каком-то смысле честь. И совпадает не только с его какими-то композиторскими предпочтениями и вайбами, но и с его интересами в качестве игрока, что вдвойне приятно. А это, в свою очередь, как мне кажется, гарантирует нам, что музыка получится хорошей, интересной и будет сделана по-настоящему вовлеченным в процесс и вовлеченным в IP человеком.
Также давай и пару слов обмолвим насчет Heroes Оркестра. Для меня это была новость, но, как оказалось, среди них много действующих игроков в героев, причем в разной части. Мне интересно, а предоставили ли вы доступ для них к бета-версии Olden Era, чтобы они смогли, так сказать, лучше погрузиться в игровую атмосферу?
Мы не только предоставили им доступ, мы не так давно встречались с ними в Познане, где мы организовали в Польше, где мы организовали закрытый бета-тест нашего проекта. Вы можете почитать, кстати, статью в журнале CD Action, она есть на английском языке. Ребята из Heroes Orchestra просто замечательные, все они собраны под крышей.
Точная
не только
дата
как музыканты,
релиза
но и как игроки.
Пока что известно приблизительно, это Q2 2025.
Действительно, нам было
это будет Early Access, и говорят, что они в Early Access посидят плюс-минус годик.
Им очень понравилось, дали им возможность поиграть. И через некоторое время получили ответ, что для них будет большой радостью участвовать в создании музыки для следующей части Heroes of Might and Magic.
И последний вопрос для тебя. А будет ли в игре музыка из предыдущих частей Heroes of Might and Magic? А что? А вдруг?
Наш проект оригинальный.
Короче, это надолго, да, я знаю. Это будет надолго на этом канале Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era. И обсуждение.
Тем не менее, очевидно, что какие-то ремиксы мы наверняка сделаем, из некоторых старых частей. Какие конкретно мы пока раскрывать не будем. Но, думаю,
можно не надо ремиксов? Нахуй не надо. Денис, ремиксы не нужны.
Геройщики, согласитесь, что такие грандиозные новости однозначно заслуживают вашего лайка и подписки на канал. В эти самые минуты на YouTube-канале Unfrozen идет
лишь бы стримила, да?
Композиторов, а также эксклюзивным концертом Heroes Оркестра. Если вы смотрите это видео в записи, не беда. В описании вы можете найти ссылку и посмотреть повтор. Ну а мы продолжаем готовить для вас еще больше вкусного контента по надвигающейся части героев. До новых встреч, друзья. Пока.
Ну что, геройщики, не забудьте посмотреть вот это и вот это видео. И подпишитесь на канал.
Не подписывайтесь на Оранжа, подписывайтесь на Краба. Краб лучше всех. Вот. Это так, к слову. Фу. Ну что ж. Это было, конечно, прям было. Что в итоге я могу сказать? Ждите видос по поводу всех этих ревьюов и обсуждения всего этого в отдельном видосе, потому что будет реально отдельный видос сделан, и я его постараюсь сделать как можно, сука, скорее. Вот.